Hello, hello. Welcome to the late night talks with Romantic Developer. And today is our 158th episode of that series. So welcome. Let me check the sound on my you local like mobile YouTube. So I'm verifying it because otherwise it's very hard to see. And mobile YouTube it still haven't started. One sec. Okay. Okay, at least I could hear myself, and it's nice. So oh, I forgot I prepared some light. Okay. Mhm. That one should work, I believe. Okay, welcome. Well, we have a stream series about everything. It's just free style streams where we talk about multiple events in the multiple spheres. First part of the stream, which normally takes about 10 up to 15 minutes, we talk about answering your comments, discussing some most recent news, or mm, I'm sharing my some personal thoughts, reflections, and so on, inspirations. Uh, I'm ask you to join me in that conversation by leaving a comments below the stream if you're watching recording, or just in the stream live chat. I will see your questions in live chat, not immediately. Maybe you need to wait about 20, 30 seconds and sometime some ping for me to notice that something is going on. So, but here, if you join, we could talk together about some topic. If you not joining and you haven't left any comments, yeah, I'll go with what I think is important and at least important for me. Yeah, I'm before the holiday season, I'm not managed well my uh, schedule, even of sleep and work and chores and everything else. So looks like I just couldn't find time to do that well, and for that, some curious happened last stream. I believe I start sleeping during the stream. It's happened first time in my about 160 streams, so I haven't reviewed it. But maybe there are some part of few minutes where I just go and sleep. Yeah, it was funny thing. Today looks like I probably will not do that. Today I'm in better conditions, but yeah, it was fun. And we are talking about holidays because Christmas in most part of the world is celebrated very soon, in less than a week. And we talked about Christmas as name for that holiday. And I did several conversations with my coworkers and other people, and even people who are not Christians, uh, who not share the same religion, but they celebrate it and they use some attributes like Christmas tree, like yeah, making holiday atmosphere, putting some decorations and so on and so on, setting some lights, setting some Christmas figures, or just holiday statues and so on outside. So you don't need to be Christian to celebrate Christmas. But yeah, I do some talk more deeply with several peoples, and okay, I don't have in my circle people who are very aggressive or who think that religion is a good justification so people could go and kill each other. Um, And since interesting things that sometimes in name of Jesus Christ, people do very bad things, impossible things, of course, which Jesus Christ, as least as he described in Bible, never allowed and never uh, respect or never appreciate, of course. But yeah, people use every information, even such beautiful logical book as Bible. And when I say that, I mostly talked about the learning from Jesus Christ, because before that, it was questionable. I mean, probably it was okay for people of that time, of course. It's better than nothing, but in terms of what Jesus Christ said to his to his apostle students, basically people who uh, want to learn from him, uh, everything he said it's applicable today, and it's should be applied more in our life. Mm, you could believe he exists, you could not believe, you could think he's son of God or just prophet or just some philosopher or someone. Anyway, what he said, it was, as I said already in one of the previous stream, very logical things, and it's very hard to dispute most of them, especially like main of his rules, like just act to others like you want they act to you and other things. He never told that you should listen to some popes or how it's called, some church masters, yes, which should lead you where you need to go, and you should listen to them, especially when they said that you should do things which you don't think it's true and good in your heart, like go killing people and so on and so on. He said that I don't remember, he said something about that people need to build churches, they need to respect and listen to all that popes and etc. etc. I remember he said that you could breathe, like pick up a stone and I will be under it, and the best church is church in your heart. So even I, as a romantic developer, looking in everything and all of what happens right now in the world, I'm returning and returning to these words because we have Christmas. Christmas is named by him, and people celebrating that and respecting that in some way. They set Christmas trees, etc. They're not celebrating just a green tree, correct? Evergreen tree, which in most cases, by the way, they just cut and it's dead. Evergreen tree. But they do other attributes, and sometimes they provide, like, gift some presents to their kids, to each other. Again, in respect of that miracle which bring to the world a person or son of God or whatever, which bring to the people learning of love, which wasn't exist before, and it's good. And what we see is that, yeah, that it's still not, that people after so many years, after so many information available, etc., etc., they still choose to follow some different doctrines. They prefer to follow. I mean, in in best case, they use that rule eye for eye, hand for hand, etc. So one of the 10 rules provided much before Jesus Christ, and It's not rules about love, it's rules about maybe fair, what you should do, what you shouldn't do to be kind of in fair of mhm, what you receive after your death. So yeah, it again in the best case, but people normally not act like even the rules before they do. I don't know how they try to find all the reasoning if they make some money or they have some power or they could feel themselves as very clever because they could make other people fight with each other, or I don't know. It's all looks insane. I prefer sometimes not to read any news. I prefer just live a normal life where I could say, oh, some new computer game out, and I will discuss with you some persona from that computer game or how they did graphics. Or I just talk about the beauty of current LLM models or their ugliness of you choose, because there are both of the things in the current LLM models, and we could talk write about it every day, and yeah, writing some code and say, okay, everything would be nice. I don't need to think about everything else. I mean, it could be fine, and I appreciate it, especially if the person accepting, if is kind, that person doesn't want to some people's dead, as he want peaceful negotiations. It's totally fine. But after all, I have been through. I am from Ukraine originally, and I live right now in the United States, and I see how a lot of people invest into this wars, and it's not only war in between Russia and Ukraine, non-declared war, by the way. It's a lot of other wars happening. It's even if you don't talk about them, it doesn't mean that Israel stop his activity, weaponry activity, army activity in Gaza sector, or if everything is just fine and bright in Syria, or we could think about any other country in the world, and in multiple places there are some conflicts. Maybe they are not global, but they're between some local group of people by multiple segregation, religion, yeah, it's most common, race, color of skin. It's not as common, by the way, right now, I think, but it's happening still. Yeah, so we have a lot of conflicts in the time when people need to unite in their wish of peace and of everyone's happiness, and think about solving some problems which stay in before humanity, and they arise more and more because our earth is going through some interesting cycle. Of course, it's changing of temperatures of nature. It's very hard to not see, and it could lead to no, very unpleasant events. We see with, I don't know, I see the climate change in my region where I live, and I see how it's changing in just in less than 8 years. And yeah, I see very hot summers. I see very big like winds and very big rains, etc., etc., which normally not happening. It was much less severe. And I see other countries, and of course there are a lot of things happened before over the history of humanity, but right now is a pretty intense moment in that. And of course, connecting to all the natural resources in the earth. Of course, they are not in the same state as before. Maybe it's not as bad as someone told, but it's not as good as someone pretend to tell, and so on and so on. There are so many issues in which people could start working together, could achieve some results everywhere. There are so many beautiful things which they could create, but instead they choosing to They choose to fight with each other, to argue, to spend time on some stupid things. And yeah, with that, we see that a lot of people in this world doesn't have a lot of energy and doesn't have a good mood. They are in depressions. They don't have energy to do something beautiful. So they just exist, not live. And yeah. And I'm one of those people. I'm one of those people, but I'm trying to know more and more, trying to solve even very simple situation in my family, again, in much more peaceful way, at least in a way I want someone. So I told to others about something I don't like. It's a very similar way I want others to talk to me. And yeah, hopefully with all my tryouts, yeah, with every time I see that, okay, it wasn't nice as I as it could, with all that new try, I'm doing better and better, and maybe I'm producing something which help other people to live their lives also slightly better, slightly worry less about not their problems, and create environment of love, acceptance. So some cozy environment for soul or subconscious, you call it, or even for your physical body in place where you live, in with people with whom you communicate, and so on and so on. And unless we all start to do this change, I don't think we will have a reasonable change in the world, dramatic change. No one will change it except us. And it's very silly to think that some leaders come and they would be just full of wisdom, very generous, and they do something that all people live happily and good. No, unless people want it themselves, the leaders will be worse and worse and worse. Maybe sometimes it's not like that line, maybe sometimes it's like this line. Okay, so yeah, I think we need to switch to some of our topics. Yeah. Also today I'm preparing to do, let me switch. Yeah, I still could see my microphone is working. Oh, for some reason my stream stopped on my phone. Okay, let me see if I could see. Um, okay, after I could hear myself after the switch. Okay, looks like yes. So I did the switch properly. So let's try to remember where we are. I have special personal mm, account in Microsoft Edge. It's profile, not account, profile, which in most case also is a different account. Okay, I said please return, and it has ability to create workspaces, as you see. And I've created workspace sometimes ago, and we still could use it. So, and in those workspace, you could open some pages, create some groups, whatever. So yeah, let's open some group and press that. So it always will be here. And one of those groups which we've created before is our Google Docs and Collab. And here we have some plans. Some plans, we describe what we are going to do and so on. So right now we mostly finished with all Python script upgrades. I still going to update slightly prompts for my channel, Romantic Developer, and probably I could also check them in. And it's just about current Python script updates, the program which we build in at the moment. But we also created some plan for the future for the 2025 year, and it's there are several action items. We created some plan. We spent not much time on that, but yeah, I just think during one stream what we can do, what we can do better, and it some practical and interesting exercises here. So, and we starting with short educational video, and today we I have to at least I created a plan for myself to create a video about how we could download anything from YouTube. I already started not some research, but at least doing something about it, trying to see if even downloading something from YouTube is legal. And it looks like there are so many questions, even at that point. So I try to investigate that question and spend so many time. And surely I'm not going to include it into the video today, but yeah. So video technically will be on Friday, not on Thursday like I planned. And hopefully I could keep it at least making video from Thursday to Friday. So I still want to concentrate on YouTube DLP because it's cool tool and it's possible to use for your own needs and benefits. You could reuse some video, some content in the video, especially it's under common license, and you can reuse video, especially if it's your content. And in our case, we're not downloading even video, or if we download video, we download it for processing it, for transcribing, for making it more better described on YouTube platform itself. So we are doing some good stuff. Also, we probably will use them to create some shorts, um, which also we can do with our own video. So I'll I'll tell that we could do that test with our own video, but if you want to do that with some others video, it's up to you. Yeah, I don't know how people so freely create so many videos about the topic and YouTube don't ban them. But yeah, probably they tell something like disclaimer, I also should include it. Uh, and also we think about other things like uh, use AI to provide some discussion starters. And last stream, yesterday, when I uh, start to fall asleep during the stream, we actually did something from that topic as well. So what we can do, probably I can go and, oh, yeah, the problem that all that experiments I did yesterday, they were on different computer and I haven't checked in the code. But we probably could try to repeat some of those very quickly. So let's cd to our projects. We are developers, we could use command prompt at least sometimes, correct? And we have our YouTube AI helper, and we could start here that our Visual Studio Code, beautiful ID, which is completely free, and we're using it for our experiments. And also we could go to uh, local Python developer utility, which we use the most of the time. And here we have our virtual environment and we could just activate it. So if you want to execute it, like Python main.py help, we could do that because I like to execute something in command prompt here. I could easily make it bigger, etc. So it's much more has better visibility for me than executing something in terminal in Visual Studio Code because it would be much less visible on the screen. Okay, it's by the way described all possible operations we support right away. It's a full process. It's just download, just transcribe, just improve existing transcript, process all the prompts and update YouTube. And we also could choose configuration folder, which contains combination of model to use, even API key to use if you want to use different API key. It could contain some additional properties like temperature, like top P, like whisper language, some special prompts to help whisper transcribe text or prompts for improving transcript, and of course prompts folder which will do execution of processing prompts. And we have update also that configuration folder will have token JSON, which we could use to connect to different channels, YouTube channels, dependently of which folder we are using, which configuration we are using. So we could, per, per, yeah, main idea of the tool is not just to download any video from YouTube, but download, transcribe, improve, build something meaningful information like summary, description, title, keywords, chapters, and then with replacement engine process it, and with update YouTube use some of those prompts to go and dynamically update the content of published video or like previous stream. I do it with my streams, at least for last 20, 30 streams. I believe 20 for sure, if maybe 30. It's already applied, applicable. You could see and look at the stream descriptions, stream titles, stream video sections, or even transcript. Sometimes not auto-generated transcript, but uploaded transcript, my English transcript. And you could see that it's much, much better and look at the results of this work. Okay, now we could come here. We have the test IPNB here, which we used to send multiple chat completion before. Yeah, it was used for okay. So, oh nice. I used even some of the llama, I believe. Yeah, we do some experiments with using TikTok and trying to divide file on TikTok, and it's our test for if we can use a llama exactly the same way like we use our OpenAI right now. A llama is something you could execute locally on your computer, some LLM model. It's of course not as cool as ChatGPT latest models, but it could provide some of the results. For example, this is test appears to an exercise of test of some sorts. Yeah, we could improve that and try to test it later because we have such task. But right now we could just skip it and try to use something more from. So let's see configuration, and we have something like generic, and in generic we use GPT for O mini. So it's good model. Let's try to use the generic. And it's loading, and it says it's loaded all the configuration. It shows the exact file location. So in our case, it's loaded from our folder configuration generic LLM config, whisper config. So everything was loaded and overrided some default settings. Okay, So now let me do some exercise. I'll try to find our previous conversations for O1, O1. Oh, no, no, no. I need to find that 1 second. I'm sorry. I need some time here. Okay. Maybe, maybe we even haven't. Oh, still not the same. What I need to do. O1, O1 Pro. So we have here some code which we tested before. Let's repeat it very quickly. It shouldn't take a long time. So we have code which we could use to connect to our stream and to connect to our channel. Don't get the latest 6 stream. Maybe we could limit it not to 6, but maybe to 3, or even to 2, or even to 1. So what we need to do, and we used I believe some even ChatGPT for or, but we probably could use it even here last time. No, yeah. Example, how to get authenticated channel ID. Yeah. So we use combination of those and those prompts last time. So it's fine. We found everything. Let's move forward. So let's go to our O1 model. Of course, we have O1 Pro, but O1 Pro generated code, which is actually we haven't asked that to generate a very cool code yet. We stick to O1 because we like O1 more for some task. Okay, let's go to O1. And we have class which we called discussion starters. Python. Let's come here and let's create it. So let's say new file, discussion starter py. Okay, we have config, whisper config. Okay, let's remove that. So prepare last streams. So let's use self number of streams. Let's say let's make it 6 by default. Let's use n n n. YouTube updater self YouTube updater. Okay, for YouTube, oh, for YouTube updater, we also have some code, correct? Authenticate YouTube. Do we have it this good? Yeah, we have this good. Init. Scopes. Scopes we had. Okay. Authenticate YouTube. Service, build service, return service. What we can do, yeah, we have this service, self-authenticate YouTube. So we not only, okay, we create the service. Okay, let's switch here. And we have the get last 6 streams. But let's um, go here into our different chat where we did much more simple things with ChatGPT, which is free. And let's try to copy that thing, get authenticated channel ID. I'm not sure if it will be always working, but in my case, I believe I don't see any issues getting get authenticated channel ID, and I just say self. Okay, self service list part ID mine equals true, execute list if, so we extract the first channel ID. Later we could set channel ID with KW orgs, which could be, yeah, very optional parameter. Maybe we could put it into our, yeah, command line parameters. But right now we just looking that if channel ID of first return channel is exist, we just say, okay, authenticate channel ID equals, otherwise we couldn't find any channel, and that's it. So get video details, okay, that authenticated channel ID. So we received here. Let's also, because we always, once we authenticate, we could say that self, we also could say self service and just say return and self channel ID equals get we also could assign to the self channel ID. So we just assign case of error channel ID and we mark them ourselves as empty if we don't have it. And we just could execute authenticate channel ID and that's it. Will it work? Let's see. So we have our test IPNB, which we are not which we are not using, which we are not committing. We use it for our test. So we just load something and let's go to our YouTube updater, YouTube, and we need to provide our LLM config, whisper config. Let's execute it. It says it's take only 2. Okay, we have just config. Okay. It's very logical. We don't need whisper config. Okay. It asked me for authentication, but I could open it in Z Windows. Try to authenticate here as romantic developer. Continue. Our application is not published from Google, but we still can use it. Okay. Let's see. Found token, credential expired, failed to refresh, pulling back to OAuth, no valid credentials available, running all flow. Okay, get obtained new credentials, credentials stored into generic config. Okay. YouTube service successfully authenticate, failed to retrieve channel with name, channel ID is not defined. Channel ID is not defined. Come on, it's some local issue, I believe, correct? Authenticate YouTube. We come to that place, we built it and set get authenticated channel ID. Maybe we could even set. Make it at least kinda how to say private, kinda. I'm still not going knowing Python too well to say if it's true private or not, but yeah, at least it's kind of private. Self channel ID is none. And we just saying self channel ID. Is that it? Is that it? Have you just forgot to update those places? Really? Um, right now it couldn't uh, automatically help us with this code because it's we need to restart kernel. Probably we could auto load kernel. I did it before multiple times, but I need to refresh my knowledge. Of course, I can do it with ChatGPT. So you see, once we restart kernel, it's loads a new version of our library, and now it's authenticated channel ID exists. So now we could switch to our YouTube channel, and we have get the last some number of stream. Let's go to our YouTube update and let's add that method. And that method would be like that. Get last streams. And let's call number of streams equals 5 by default. And number of streams fetching last, and we of course can say just number of streams, and for that not to throw error we need to put f before the stream so it could format it kind of in, if not self channel ID. Okay, now we have it. Service search list snippet, self channel ID, video completed date, max results, and we just say number of streams. Response, video IDs for item response, get items, found, completed live streams. Okay, return video IDs. Nice. And now we have that discussion starters, and we could say get last number of streams and say number of streams, just number of streams. Okay, we just pass, trying to ensure directory exists. Okay, do we have that? Yeah. And for each, we trying to find local stream by ID in that key path. File details file, we look for key YouTube ID. And if it's not exist, we just download in the video, YouTube video, and local stream at local stream dears. So prepare last streams. It will return us that stream directory. It should return us to the state where we were on the last stream. So let's see. We have our discussion starters. So let's go here and say from discussion starters import discussion starters. And discussion starters, and it would be LLM config, whisper config, and discussion starters, what we want. Prompt processor downloader, maybe even self YouTube updater. And it would be self. So some simple fixes here. So discussion starters, okay. LM whisper config, and we want to prepare last streams. And let's say it 3 list. And we just want to print what we received. Print list of folders. Okay, looks good. So restart, execute everything. So we now in the discussion starters itself trying to re-authenticate it once time, fetching last 3 completed live streams from YouTube. Prepare video, get last streams. Self-service search has no attribute search. Self-service. For some reason, our YouTube downloader is not kinda prepared. Self YouTube updater, get last streams. Get last streams. Self-service. Okay, now we just need to execute it. We don't need to return because we set self-service inside that authenticated too. It's one of them, our changes. Yeah, if you will use completely ChatGPT to generate code, we don't do such silly mistakes. So still some mistake. We don't need, by the way, this initialization at all. Let's see. Prepare last streams, video, self, request, number of streams, 6 is not defined. Okay. So looks like we by mistake number of streams. Yeah, here we just press something and it was reflected. Let's see. Okay, now we don't have such silly mistakes. So we're trying to download navigating chaos insights on war, AI, and humanity future. It looks like yesterday's stream. So it's trying to download it. Okay, now it should try to convert it to OGG file. That's why centralized storage for our project is beneficial because we could do a lot. Of course, we could use and when we have centralized storage. Yeah, if we have only one computer, it's fine. But you see, in my cases, I could execute I on at least several computers, and it means that I don't have everything on my one computer. I have always a combination of at least several environments. It's good for testing. It's good for making a good habits of development, like uh, com com committing your changes which are ready for commit. And we also have that the latent talks with romantic developer love and love. And looks like we still need to download another one. Insights on love and love AI. Hmm. Okay. The main thing now is not to fall asleep. I still need to finish my video. Okay. So looks like okay. So we have 3 videos: navigating chaos, night talks part 156, and late night talks with a romantic developer insights on life, love, and AI. Okay, so we have 3 of these folders. Let's think what. So we already have some preparation. At least could download everything we need. That is stored here in that video folders. But right now we probably will see not all the things, but it's alphabetical order here, not by downloading time. What we can do, we can try to mm, sorry. So if we go here to and look for date modified, so we see that the last three streams, and we have all the details like OGG, and and in this folder we have not only OGG but also transcript. So it's already ready, but those two we just downloaded. I believe I want to clean that stream before, because I had some issues 156, but it's fine. Let's continue. Oh, it's basically already updated. Okay, we just found it. Okay, so if you try to execute the same code once again, it will very quickly just return us everything because it's already here. We have that IDs from YouTube channel, and now we have all our folders here. So what we can do next? Discussion starters. Let's remember where we are with ChatGPT o1. So it just helped us with all things, but we have also, so most probably we could do some additional things here with that starters. Why? Because we need to not only download but also transcribe at least. Looks like we need not only to download missed streams, but also transcribe them and execute prompts. Can you help with the code update? So it should be pretty simple task. I'm just writing here because it's once we have the streams, we not only need to have a downloader, but also prompt processor and transcriber. So if we go here into our discussion starters, so let's took transcriber and prompt processor. Everything else we don't need. We already have. Discussion starter, downloader, transcriber, prompt processor. Okay. Downloader we already have. And those two we could have. Config, config, whisper config. Now what? Prepare list. So for each video, if not match dir URL, else ensure transcript and prompts. Ensure transcript and prompts. Yeah, it's a good thing. So here, once we download video folder, oh, if not match dir and else, so we just could, remove it from here, put here, because we need to execute ensure anyway, if we found folder or not found folder. So yeah, let's ensure. And here we have that ensuring. So let's look for transcript txt. If it's not, then we transcribe folder, video folder, and self transcriber improve transcription, and also could use video folder to check how we execute it normally. Let's see full process. We have downloader file, OGG file path, and then we just transcribe audio files. Improve transcription video folder. Let's prompt txt pass. So which we need prompt txt pass. Probably we need a summary. Let's put something like that. Summary. And in folders, normally we have title prompt txt. So let's just say we want to find summary prompt txt. And if not exist, because if it exists, we are fine. Self prompt processor process prompt on transcripts, and we also provide that video folder. Okay. So now we should not only do that, but also, yeah. Next thing, we need create some summary. Summary probably shouldn't be very long. Okay. Generate discussion starters, generate questions. We still need to build generate questions, but let's ask for prompt. Can you help with the simple summary prompt? I will provide results of this prompt to the model. I don't want for it to be super big, maybe up to 3000 characters. So next we just creating summary prompt. Okay, for creating summary prompts, we need to go to our configurations in that way, generic to prompts, say new file and say summary, and we can say txt. We don't need srt here. And let's see what it say. Your content summarizer, review the following transcript, review the following text version of video stream video stream transcript and produce a concise summary capturing the main topic, key points, and any significant conclusion action mentioned. Aim to cover the essential information without unnecessary details. Final summary should not be longer. Okay, that looks good. So let's try to see if it will generate the summary where we need. For that, we need to go to our test notebook, test IP Y and B. We just restarting it because we haven't, yeah, make sure that it will be auto reload. And now let's see if it will work. So load configurations and found 3 completed live streams. Nice. And before returning, we trying to transcribe folder, and it start with transcribing OGG file, and it would send chunks to the whisper. Now it's only one chunk, so it will send chunk, will wait, and it will do, and then it will improve the prompt. And it will do with all the videos. Because we have only one video transcribed, it will do that operation for two videos. So, but after that, we will have summaries of each video ready to use. So it's also showing that we already executed in more than 1 minute, which is fine. And it also used that we have our stream for about 1 hour and 6 minutes, which is also fine. Okay, so while it do the transcription to be ready for our next stream, let's see what else we have from O1. It would be nice if you could jump between its answers. It's still some of the latest things. So, and its previous response, discussion starters. A lot context. Build prompt and generate questions. Okay, we already trying to improve transcript. We already could receive it, and we divide it into 3 chunks. So we will transcribe all the chunks, improve all the chunks. But while we're doing that, nothing stop us from adding more functionalities to discussion starters. Self, and it would be prepare last streams. Number of streams would be 3. No, would be the input parameter. So we just switched completely to internal variable here. Prepare last streams, okay? Let's leave the same logic, but it would be number of streams, current stream, previous streams, current transcript pass. Let's see how it's create a folder. For this we need to switch to, oh, we already don't know. Okay, let's come here and it says load context. Okay, looks like I again tending to fall asleep. Not as bad as previous time. Maybe its topic is closed for us, and my body say, "Hey, what are you doing? You are showing something people too early to know. I mean, they're too young to know that secrets. It's secret of universe." So download YouTube video folder, and download YouTube video. It's get YouTube audio pass. Okay, download self convert, and video folder is here. Join output dir, sanitize title, and output dir is from here. Output dir or self output dir. A self output dir is get default output dir. Okay, let's go to discussion starters. So let's remove that. Looks like it's full folder. Transcript, txt. Okay, summaries. Summary pass. It would be again as summary from txt. Load file content. Summary pass. No summary found. Append stream as summary n. Okay, previous summaries. Okay. Word news are here. Return everything. Build prompt. Discussion starters. So let's start the discussion starters. In prompts, let's create new file discussion starters, but let's call it not txt, but custom. Why? Because we don't want to process that as prompt. Custom prompt Current transcript, previous summaries, word AI news, return prompt, generate questions, prompt content, build prompt. Okay, system content, prompt content, self prompt processor, client create, chat completion. Okay, so generate questions and it building prompt, prompt building. So we start with load context that will retrieve. Oh, it's not number of streams. It would be prepare last streams. Okay. So now that should work as expected and generate something for us. The only thing we need to do is to remember what is that prompt content. Okay, copy code. Let's go to default discussion starters custom and say that current stream, previous number of streams, stream summaries, import news, import AI news. Okay, nice. And now here in discussion starters, we also want to replace number of streams, self number of streams. Okay, with that we have at least configurable number of previous streams for generating our questions to upcoming stream AI. And we still need to add integration into getting the latest AI and generic news. Let's see on our test. Oh, it's still doing something with our prompts, improving our SRT transcript. For some reason, it's doing it pretty a long time. The third prompt normally should, third part normally should be the fastest because third part is the smallest normally. But we have another stream, so maybe we even don't have time for waiting everything. Okay. I really want to wait until the most recent stream and for tomorrow because to execute that prompt with 4 and it will do exactly the same thing. So right now we already fully processed one video and navigating chaos, insights, and war AI and humanities. It's our last video. Also, we have video which is 156. So day before last, we need to process, and all previous videos, at least some of them are processed on that computer, so we don't need to reprocess them again. So we will have on that computer all we need, basically, all we need. Okay, nice. So it's provided us with everything we need. Let's go to the main module. And let's, in main, let's add that thing like parser, and let's add here. Generate discussion starters. So I don't think we need that special path for configuration folder here. Parser discussions, subparser, add parser. Okay. Also, three chunks in the last one. In the not last one, but day before last. It also will take some time. And let's see what we have else. It's our build prompts and our main. And we need to import discussion starters. Oh. And now we could scroll down to the very end and say, maybe like even like this. Elif args mod generate discussion starters. We create discussion starters, config whisper config questions, number of streams. Let's put it like 3 right now, but later we can put it as different number questions. Generate questions and print generated questions. Yeah, right now we can do like that, but normally it's nice to store them into the last stream folder. Okay, so looks like right now main YouTube update and new file looks good. Looks good. You know, maybe not to prevent committing all of those things into main because we are still working on that. Let's create new branch and let's call this branch. Okay, let's first pull the latest changes because we have few. Okay, now let's create new branch, and it would be users, romantic dev, and let's call it like um discussion starters work. Once again, branch, create branch. Let's start without slash. Okay, and now we could add discussion starters main and YouTube update as well as our configuration changes to our branch, new branch. And if we will say discussion starters and we just commit and push, okay, nice. And if we go now to our branch and it would be whisper git, it would be somewhere here, yeah. And if we look into um, we see that we have that branch and we can create pull request, but also we could switch to that branch. And then in the code, we could look into the configuration, for example, generic, and we could see that prompt discussion starter custom. And the other files are here as well, like discussion starter spy, etc. They are not in main, but in that custom branch. Okay, so let's return to our test. We already processing part number 2. So really interesting what to do. Let's ask, I am going to get the latest news and their content from Google News API. Can you help me with Python class to get news in different categories like top 5 news in each? Oh, I didn't say I want general and Google News API. Self base URL news API or let's see. For now, let's open news API or is it Google? Let's see the price and developer 24-hour delay. No, it's not news API. Mm, Google News API. Not the best answer. Okay, dismiss and let's look for news. Google APIs Explorer. So, solutions developer program. Okay, best news API. Let's say free. So. Let's search here as well very quickly. We want to enable news. No news. Okay. Top news comparison. Bing News API. By the way, maybe it's the answer. Bing News API. Historical data feature. NQ. So search functionality. Free tire limitation. Max 10 articles per day. Web Zero Newslight. Calls months. Stop 100 calls a day, maximum 20 articles per call. Limited access. Limited access. 5 calls months, max 10 articles per call. Limited access depending on the subscription plan. Let's quickly look on the Big News API. So we are looking for Bing, Bing News, and we are looking for pricing. Search API, image search, entity search, web search. But we're looking for new search. Offering. Free. Transaction per second, per month for all markets. New search. Maybe, it's still is a good how we could try. Welcome to Azure, romantic developer. Welcome. Home. Bins, news, API. I know. No subscription. So looks like we need to have a subscription. Probably, yeah. I have I have registered somewhere on different account for some news API, and I can do it from my personal Azure account where I have subscription. But okay, list of folders. So now we could say not list of folders, but we can say it could be three. We can ask generate questions. Answer. No answer. Questions. Okay, let's try. Oh, okay, restart. Run all. I believe we added new parameter later, so it should took 4 positional parameters now. Yes. Found 3 live streams and generate questions, prompt, content, self-build prompt, current transcript, previous summaries, prompt, replace number of streams. Not in, oh, come on. So let's go here and just sell SRT. Yes. Do you know Python already? I know SRT. Cool. Looks like, yeah, I'm becoming better in Python now. And let's execute run all. So it will not take any news as of now. Oh, come on. What's next? Not defined. Oh, it's not SRT, it's str, string. Um, I use SRT because we work a lot with that library, with the SRT library. But of course, I'm thinking about, yeah, string, but put SRT. Questions. There are some discussion starters questions for the next live stream categorized as requested. How do you feel about the recent major climate summit failure to reach an agreement? Okay, let's put it into somewhere. And let's open and let's see how they are how they are called. What implication do you think this has for global climate action? Reflect on the ongoing conflicts around the world, such as the situation in Ukraine, Syria. What do you think are the key factors that prevent peace negotiations from being successful? I already responded that it's money and power and some interest of playing the games. In light of the challenges humanity faces today, what the personal actions do you believe you can contribute to creating a more peaceful and accepting environment in our communities? Come on, guy. I mean not that. You're just repeating my answers and questions. My questions and answers I provided on the streams. So come on, technical questions. Based on your experience from the last streams, what challenges did you encounter while implementing the YouTube AI helper and how did you overcome them? Yeah, it's an interesting question. Mm, by everyday work. I overcome everything by everyday work. Okay, how do you envision the integration of AI tools enhancing the content creation process in future streams? What specific features would you like to see developed? We already created a plan. Come on, guy. Do you hear my streams or not? In your opinion, what are the most critical technical skills that aspiring developers should focus on to stay relevant in the rapidly evolving AI landscape? Yeah, it's a nice question. It's a hard question. Every technical skill could be acquired. The most skill which couldn't be acquired is curiosity. So if you curiosity and eager to learn, you could achieve a lot. But it's not technical skill. It's more like soft skill. But it's play crucial role in technical skills. Is the recent improvements announced for GPT-4? So it's not recent actually. How do you think this advance will impact the way we interact with AI in our daily lives? AI will be everywhere in every product. Like right now, we have a lot of IoT of the things, and not of them are working fine. So I have a lot of smart bulbs in my house, which I could, yeah, light or switch off by voice. And there are other a lot of things which mostly connected to my phone by Bluetooth or by Wi-Fi. But yeah, it's just beginning. What are your thoughts on the ethical implication of AI models becoming more powerful? How should developers navigate these challenges? Oh, it's interesting question, but yeah, I'll leave it for later. OpenAI latest model improvements have sparked a lot of discussion. What specific application do you think could benefit the most from this advancement and why? Yeah, it's interesting question. Of course, I believe, as I think, once we connect actual news engine, probably it will be more specific questions. But yeah, it's more specific question, but not as nice as they could be. Let's say that. Okay, okay. They're very generic. And the first questions, which are not quite generic, of course, it's listen carefully to what I'm talking about. But again, ongoing conflicts around the world and key Ukraine, Syria, and others, it took it from me. The learning, the learning cutoff probably don't know about Syria for sure. It's maybe know about something in Gaza, but I believe learning cutoff is October 2023. Yeah, probably Gaza just started. Not much information. And LLM don't like to talk about conflicts in the world. It's like prohibited topic. But you see, we now could generate it. And the other thing, if we re-execute it once again, so if we execute it once again now, you will see that it will generate responses much more faster. So it just like that, you see. Now it's generated questions like that. And if we just put new section here for the new questions, so it just took really seconds, few seconds to generate those questions. Okay, what is the recent climate summit? Did we put something in the quoted? Discussion starters. Today's world news, major climate summit reached no agreement. Okay, I see AI news. Okay, yeah. We need to reduce that thing because yeah, it would be the same question over and over. Reflection of ongoing conflicts around the world. How do you think we can foster a culture of peace? Okay, considering the discussion on leadership and influence, what qualities do you think are essential for leaders to embody in order to promote positive change during turbulent times? At least I could know some new words. um, Technical challenges. Okay, how you envision integration of real-time news feed into your existing project, and what potential challenges do you foresee in implementing this feature? I see that there are not a lot of free real-time news feeds, and it's when I ask ChatGPT, it doesn't know what to yeah provide me. It's provide me some the news API or something, which is nice, but 24 hours delay in news on free tire. I think it's doing no for us. We need the latest news. Models to ensure they provide accurate and relevant response to real-time applications. It's also an interesting thing. Improvements, okay. How do you see evolution? Okay. What ethical consideration? Okay. So I mean, it's nice, but we need to rework the prompt. We need to make it more, picky questions. Okay, but we received at least something, and surely it's connected to our previous streams for sure. And surely it's connected to what it believes are latest news from the world. Let's review very quickly. Yeah, here probably. Let's review in our last stream what is the summary. Date modified. Do we have any summary generated? Hmm. We don't have any summaries generated. Build prompts, load context, improve, prompt pass. If pass, video folder, okay. Summary, prompt, txt. If not, pass exist transcript. Oh, come on, prompt txt process prompts on transcript. And here, summary prompt txt, we need load, not load variable content. And we just need to take the most recent. So let's come here. And we have our utilities, load file content, load variable content. Okay. And here for summary, at least one should exist. Okay. But when we really want to load it, summary pass, we just could say load variable content. Okay. And we have s, and we have variable name would be summary. variable name. Oh, okay, summary. Yeah, now it looks better. Stream append summary. Previous summary is okay. And Word AI News. And for summary, for text transcript prompt, we took also the most recent. Okay, and for build prompt, okay. And when we generate prompt, we just go and generate prompt. Okay. Let's restart everything and run once again. Now it should generate something at least. So it should generate summaries now. Because we didn't have, you see, processing prompt, saved responses. So we generate not only keywords title, but chapter, but now summary as well. So, and we will generate it on each folder because summary is a new prompt and all those folder doesn't have summary, but it will also update folders. So in that way, you see, because folder already have something, it's save title 2, better chapters 2, but summary 1, first one. And for the last folder, we also will preserve, oh no, it also doesn't have anything, so summary. So now we have all three summaries. And now we are ready to generate the final prompt and return some questions, discussion starter questions. Let's review the last option. Now it should be with summaries. We will review summaries very quickly. How do you feel about lack of agreement? Okay, climate summit, it will be our thing to change because it's static news. Reflecting on personal values emphasized during the holiday season, how we can integrate these values into our daily lives to foster better relationships within our communities. Okay, it's something new. Given the current state of media consumption discussed in previous streams, how we can cultivate critical thinking skills to navigate biased reporting and misinformation effectively. It's different level of questions. They're not too funny, but they're pretty deep. In the last streams, we discussed improvement to YouTube video and transcription project. What specific challenges do you foresee in integrating AI models for better transcription accuracy and how we can address them? Yes, and as we continue to refine our Python script, what are some best practices for managing API interaction to ensure smooth functionality and prevent errors, especially with YouTube API? What are the best practices? I don't know. Put it in separate class and output all the errors. With OpenAI, you see, we did some retry logic. How we can leverage the insights gained from past streams to enhance the user experience in our upcoming projects, particularly in terms of technical implementation and user feedback. It's so complex questions that I don't know how to ask it. I mean, complexly formulated. Okay. Considering the rapid advance, how do you think this development will shape the future? What the ethical consideration should be? Okay. With AI news, no news. But you see, with technical questions and reflections, it's did much better work because now it have summaries. And to review the summary, if you will look at the video, we have now summary, did modified summary. And if you open that summary prompt, the stream hosted biometrically covers a variety of topics. Media information consumption, reflection on Christmas, and technological developments, project updates, philosophical insights. Okay, what is the next? Let's look for summary. The stream was rescheduled multiple times. Okay, human experience and relationship, Christmas reflection, AI and future challenges, OpenAI technological developments, future plans for YouTube channel, technical insights, AI model comparison, code development and improvements, pa pa pam. Yeah, so pretty nice. But summary also could be slightly improved to maybe extract some phrases, extract some, I don't know, some more level. So it would be should be less summary, but more material for asking a question. So we would work on it. But you see, at least right now, if we will generate something like we like um, Python main, Python help, now we have another generate discussion starters prompt. Yeah, it's too long, I know. And if we will say main Python generate discussion starters, it will read everything. Oh, it's use generic Azure. Okay. Now it asks me to use some URL to authenticate application. Oh, it's here. Mm, yeah, why it's happening? Because I use by default on this computer not generic, but generic Azure. Hello, can how can I assist you today? And you know why it's happened? Because let's go and fix that. So because we need summary prompt and discussion starter custom, move to copy to generic Azure prompts. So now if you will execute the same once again, generate discussion starters, it should do it even with Azure. So we found three streams and now we combining all of them and trying to receive a response. The only the only difference is that here we receive a response not from GPT-4 mini, but most probably GPT-4. Yeah, because it's different configuration. I have default configuration set on that computer, which is not generic. So let's see questions very quickly, but I believe it would be the same. Okay, first question is about my streams, not about the climate summit. Reflections. In previous streams, you expressed concern about the state of humanity and a sense of love during the holiday season. How do you believe we can foster deeper human connections? If you mentioned skepticism about mainstream media, especially regarding the Ukraine conflict, how do you think individuals can cultivate critical thinking skills to better assess the reliability of news sources? Oh, it's interesting question. Start thinking, start analyzing on level one from level 100, at least go 1 point beyond level zero. Reflecting on philosophical exploration of Christmas, how do you think society can shift back to focusing on the core values of love and respect during the holidays? The love and respect should be during all time, all year, every day, every minute, not only during holiday Christmas, but it's nice to remember about it at holiday season. Working on Python project for automating video transcription. Yes. What challenges have you faced in improving token management and handling expired tokens? Nice. It's something another which it took from our summaries. Consider your plan to integrate AI capabilities in YouTube content creation. What are the key features you aim to develop next, and how will they enhance viewer engagement? It's I already shared it with you. We'll then go and updates to your Python script. How do you ensure that the code remains modular and efficient, especially when interacting with YouTube's API? Yeah. It's not efficient, but it's modular, at least. OpenAI recently released, okay, given rapid, okay, how do you balance potential benefits with the philosophical concerns about unchecked technological growth and its impact on human interactions? Yeah, too complicated. Maybe they should be slightly more funny, slightly more funny questions, but it's area of exploring. We could explore them more. We even probably can return them in some format, in some JSON format. So we could send them into chat or into comment section below the stream, and we can execute it maybe, or just show it on the screen somehow. I don't know. So it should be, we need to think about representation, but it's doing at least something. Yes, it's took my previous stream, my previous stream. It's took summaries of few previous streams before that, and it's asked question which makes sense. It's really listen to me and watching my stream, like hearing my streams, reading my streams. Let's say that, yeah, it's proper word. So it's nice. Okay, so what I think we could transition back, and at this point of time, I think we are ready to finish the stream. Hmm. The only one thing I want to do is to switch back, and we have our local AI changes, and let's go with discussion starters once again. Update to look for summaries. So it's my branch, but it's available online, of course, for everyone. And it's now contains all the recent changes we've done. So right now, that branch have all the changes which are on my computer. So if I even switch to another computer, I could continue from point where I've left. And I intentionally didn't put into the notebook more than some code, so I could quickly execute and jump to the error right in the Visual Studio Code. But I still prefer to execute final code um, in command prompt, because the way how it would be executed if we create some shortcut or some batch file to execute our command prompt with some parameters. So yeah, it's nice to see results there. And as you see, yeah, with help of ChatGPT, with help of O1 model, which basically available for everyone who has any subscription of ChatGPT. So it includes students, organizational, and other subscription, and something from very cheap, which is not so cheap, about $20 a month subscription. But also, if you want to use it unlimited, you need to buy Pro subscription, which costs much more, like 10 times more. But yeah, O1 is pretty nice. It's very capable for our task. Very capable. We don't need even look into O1 Pro, because O1 is doing great. Okay, so I think that's it. And now that really it. I completed everything. Yeah, describe everything, and we have about more than 2 hours of the stream right now. So guys, I think I could wish you a good time of the day. Um, Returning to all our topics, which AI, even AI emphasize now in questions, I want to wish you again to build a cozy, warm environment in your families, in your communities where you can, which will be ruled by acceptance, by love, by respect of each other, by dignity, and the sincere try to resolve all the tricky situation with love, acceptance, rather than some aggressions and proving you're right. Just think about others. They are also right. So not fight of right people, but conversation of people full of wisdom. That is my wish, and that is what is very important now in that holiday season before the upcoming year, which also could bring us a lot of bad surprises. So let's be prepared to really bright, warm future, not to the ugly one. Let's build it together. See you tomorrow or whenever you are ready. I'm not stopping doing my streams. I'm trying to change its format, but right now, yeah, I'm sticking to the previous one, so I'm not ready. Okay, see you.